We learned recently of a case in which a homeowner received some wiring instructions. This surprised the woman because she'd already wired money for the purchase. Unfortunately, she had wired money to a crook posing as the closing agent. Now, believe it or not, lying actually might have prevented this. The bad guys in this story had hacked the victim's email and learned of the pending sale. Now, not knowing she'd been hacked when the crook sent a legitimate-looking email, she didn't think anything of it. She followed the instructions, presented the request to the bank, and the funds were wired. The bank simply fulfilled a rather routine request from a known customer, and the actual closing agent, realtor, title agency, and attorneys had no clue this was happening because all the communication came through email. Now, these things don't just happen to individuals either. Emails from various imposters have resulted in the improper wiring of over $2 billion from corporations to cyber thieves. Now, quick note, at our firm, we do not make any wire transfers to third parties based on email requests. Additional verification is required. But one way this theft could have been prevented was to make hacking the email more difficult. Now, a fairly easy way to do this is to set up something called two-step or dual factor. It's also sometimes referred to as two-factor authentication. What this does is it involves providing a second point of ID beyond the typical username and password structure. A hacker that steals your login credentials still won't be able to get into your account unless he also has the second point of identification. Now, could these extra steps be a pain? Yeah, certainly. But the fact of the matter is that the victim of a cybercrime is often the weakest link in the security chain because they put convenience ahead of security. A simple extra step means less chance of being a victim. Now, the most common form of this authentication involves you providing answers to a few security questions that you select. And this is where the lying part comes in. An easy way to make security questions more effective is to not answer the security question truthfully. For instance, if asked of you what your mother's maiden name is, answer with a random word or some other name that you'll remember. And this works because it's a lot harder for someone to figure out your wrong answer than the correct answer. I mean, really, it is very hard to find out a person's mother's maiden name or where someone went to high school. Now, popular email programs like Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, and AOL all offer the enhanced level of security additional authentication provides. If the home buyer we mentioned earlier had done this, it might have made it harder for the hackers to get into her emails. Now, we have much more to share on cybersecurity, including what we do to protect your money and your data, and a rundown of steps you can take to protect yourself. See our blog page for the post titled Cybersecurity, What You Need to Know. And as always, if you have questions, please contact us. We'd love to hear from you.